Most brands focus on conversions, but the best ones focus on creating unforgettable customer experiences. And the best part is that you can do it too. Let me show you how. Hey, I'm Brian Roisentul. I'm the host of the DDC Insider podcast. I have recorded over 200 episodes with amazing brands, and I have learned a lot from them. And on top of that, I'm the founder of PSR Digital, a growth marketing agency I founded in 2013 to help 7 and 8 figure brands grow with no tricks, no tactics, just growth marketing. Okay, so let's dive into today's topic. One of these brands I interviewed actually is a former Disney executive who's now a consultant. And we discussed on that episode probably a few years ago how to Disnify experiences for your customers. And since then, we have implemented some of his tips and they have worked very well. So I wanted to share them with you. So when I talk about Disneyfying customer experiences, I'm not just saying to go to our landing pages and put a dress or a princess gown on them, even though that would be hilarious. But I'm talking about how to turn the boring and transactional touch points into magical ones. And no, I know that most brands won't have, or no brand will have, a Disney budget, but the good news is that you don't need that. You need two things, really two things. One is to map out all your touch points with your customers. Think of ads, landing pages, emails, SMS, including the transactional emails as well, the order status, etc. So those touch points, if you map them out, and mapping them out means like, I don't know, go to Airtable, Figma, Google Form, or whatever, put them Google Drawing, sorry, and put all like circles, one circle for each touch point, square, whatever you want, and then and only then you'll say, okay, so we have touch point one, touch point two, three, four, five, six, and all of them. That's steps number one. Once you have that, you can think of ways of doing some or implementing some out of the box ideas to surprise them. So whenever there's a boring touch point, because every single brand has these boring touch points, you can say, okay, how can we turn these boring touch points into some, you know, surprising touch points? Because surprising gets them talking about your brands with their friends, with their family, with everyone, gets them to share this on social, because it creates a surprise. But the boring, it creates no effects. So I have written some ideas here if you see me reading. So because I didn't want to forget about any, to share with you some of the things that you can implement. The first one is a proactive product checking. So you might have, I mean, if you do things well, you might have by now a post-purchase email flow, right? Many or most brands do, right? So you have a post-purchase email flow in which you try to upsell, cross-sell, or whatever. In this case, you can add a proactive product checking in which you will send a personalized message a few weeks after the purchase to genuinely ask customers how they are enjoying their product and offer tailored tips to enhance their experience. So again, this is not the classic upsell. This is a genuine ask, how are you enjoying your products? Then a genuine birthday celebration, replace that generic birthday, discount with a special digital card or personalized video from your team, pair with an exclusive offer craft around their buying habits. And I know some of these might be more sophisticated or complicated to implement, but as we always say, if we aim to the moon, we might get to the top of the mountain. But if we aim to the floor, we won't get anywhere. If this sounds too complex, okay, how can you improve the current touch point, if any? Because maybe the first improvement is adding a birthday touch point because you don't have that currently. You might not even know the birthday of your customers, right? The third is a customized educational content. And I've been witnessed many times of how educating your customers on what they have bought, not on your brand or generic stuff, on what they have bought. If they bought a skincare product, like recommend, the specific ways of using that, the mistakes to avoid, the night routine, day routine, whatever. And only by educating them, I promise, only by educating them, you will see sales coming from them as well. You know, even if you don't pitch any products, just by educating them. So this goes a long way. And many products like the one I mentioned and many other verticals as well, they require activation, because if your customers bought and don't use your product, they are not going to be able to replenish because they are not going to need to. So once they buy, it's the first, let's say, win. But now, of course, you need to deliver the promise with your product, but also you need to activate them to use them. So you need to educate them to activate them, right? And when you activate them and they are happy, you create raving fans. That's the whole point of this, right? Then is humanized card recovery. So you can ditch the robotic forgot something messages. And I have seen influential people in the email space, such as Jimmy Kim and Chase Diamond, sorry, that the forgot something messages probably don't do much. And instead, you can send an authentic personalized message from a real team member, complete their, with their photo or phone introduction and offering genuine help. Because maybe, you have, as these people, these influencers say, you have at least two types of abandoned carts. You have like I was checking out, like I was checking it out and then I left because that's all I wanted to do. So the one off. And then you have those people who added multiple products to cart. They browsed many pages. So probably they were really, really interested. They were more interested than added ones to cart and then left. So maybe they needed help. Maybe they needed a question answered. Maybe they needed reassurance that somebody else bought and were happy as well, or why somebody ditched their old whatever product and replaced them with this new product they were about to get, right? So those humanized touch points go a long way too. Then you can, you can implement a customer-driven product launch. You can invite, and I have seen this with many, many cool brands. You can invite your loyal customers to exclusive early access for new products and genuine seek their feedback before you launch to the wider audience. So one brand, I think it was F Stop or something like that. They manufacture backpacks for photographers and that like go go out in hikings and all the stuff. So basically they build the gear for them. And what they said is that they put this group of people a name, like it wasn't like product testers, it was something cool, but it's a group of customers who the brand name as product testers, right? And basically what they do is before mass releasing the product, they actually give them the product, give away the product to try. And that way they've been able to radically improve, because what you think that will work best, sometimes it's not what your customers want. So maybe it was that the straps were too thin or too thick. Maybe the pockets were too small or too big. So this is something that you can get by doing that. Another brand that I love called Man-Made. They are in the men's underwear category. They have been growing exponentially in the last 4 or 3 years. And basically they do the same thing. They give away products to their VIP customers. So that's something you can implement actually. Then you can give them inside access updates. So, like share personalized behind the scene updates or exclusive brand stories not available publicly, deepening the connection and loyalty. You can do many other things. This brand, Battle Box, what they do, we all have these win back email flows, to recover lost customers or lapsed customers. What they do, since they have customers in a subscription, or most of them, when they see they churn, they have their customer success department reach out and ask them about the reasons they churned, and they gather insights. And of course, when there's a fit, they transition to a sales page and they offer them to resume the subscription with whatever incentive they see fit for them. So this is something else that you can do. So sometimes it's a little things. Sometimes it's just to give you more ideas. It's adding a handwritten thank you note in your purchase, and not the same you send everyone else. If it's the first order, you can include one message. If it's the second order, you can include another message, and so on. So if it's your VIP customers, you can really have the CEO founder, write something for them, like the top 1%, right? If you're a small brand, probably that's 10 customers or five. If you're a bigger brand, that's probably 100 customers, and they don't buy every single month, right? Or they might not buy every single month. So you need to see where you can improve. But what I can guarantee is that you can improve. You don't need to choose all the touch points to start off with. You can choose the ones that you think will move the needle the most. Like if in a touch point you have like two people, well, probably even if you improve, you're not going to see the needle moved. So you need to go to the high, you know, like the biggest touch points in terms of volume, but in terms of importance as well for your brand and for your customers. So I hope you found this useful. I hope you can implement this. And hey, I invite you in the comments, whether you watch this on YouTube or Spotify or maybe on LinkedIn, to actually tell me what you are implementing, to Disnify your customer experience in your brand, what you implemented and probably didn't work and why, or what you implemented and worked really, really well. Okay. Thank you.